Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about whether or not we expected too much prior to the announcement of the Ezio Collection. Now, this video was sparked by a video made by Tyler, who made a video basically stating how...
I don't care.
But seriously, it's a great video, everyone go check it out, there'll be a link in the description. However, what the major point in the video that really hit me was it leaked 2 months before the alleged announcement. And everyone thought, oh damn, it's gonna be an all-out remaster remake, and everyone wanted a proper all-out remake, and there was an announcement and it was gonna be out in 3 months according to leaks, which is that's just asking for way too much, and I agree. But people did seem to think that they might have been working on it for years. Of course, that would make sense. Of course they'd want that. I too would want something similar, but you know, I sort of figured at some point, yeah, this isn't going to be anything major special. I mean, I might have still been disappointed because I expected a little bit more than what was there, but, you know, I think that it's understandable given how they didn't try to hype it up too soon. It makes perfect sense that it's not overly remastered, and I can respect them for keeping the bare basics in the games. They want to try to strike nostalgia when playing the game, not just hearing the voices and the music and seeing the cutscenes. Also, what's there isn't awful. It's not overly remastered. It's minor improvements, like one leak specifically said that there would be improvements to textures, and it didn't mention anything about a new engine and stuff like that, and people still expected that. I mean, I didn't at that point. I knew that it would just be improved textures, which we got, okay? They delivered on what the leaks told us. Everyone else was hyping it up a little bit too much, and maybe I was guilty of this a little bit, but hey, I didn't expect them to put in a new engine. I did speculate about it, but this was before the leak came out, which told us about the texture improvements and so on and so forth. Part of me still likes the idea of an all-out remaster, but with the Ezio trilogy, it's not about remastering it really. It's just about releasing it with better textures and stuff and making it look a little bit more crisp, and then releasing it on current generation consoles so people who don't have the older generation of console anymore and want to play the Ezio trilogy to feel Assassin's Creed for what it actually is can. They didn't do this just to please old fans. They wanted the newer people to go back and play the Ezio trilogy as well. They wanted people to feel the Ezio trilogy, and they wanted everyone to have roughly the same experience with the Ezio trilogy, whether it be on old generation or the new generation, which I can respect Ubisoft for, because the Ezio trilogy is something that every Assassin's Creed fan should have played, and if you don't, then you're a fucking fake fan. But seriously, I don't know anyone who genuinely expected Ubisoft to come out with this almost a new game this close to the alleged release. I mean, they wouldn't have done. This was always just going to be a port with minor changes and minor fixes and stuff, and that's what it is. Ubisoft have delivered. In fact, it's not Ubisoft who's making this. I always refer to them as Ubisoft because Ubisoft makes Assassin's Creed, but it's the other company involved that escapes me. So yeah, Virtuous Games has delivered on this, okay? They delivered on delivering a remaster. Now, people are after a remake. Okay, I understand that. People want remakes. Yeah, I get it. A remake, cool. Does it need a remake? No, it doesn't. It's got a perfectly fine engine. It works perfectly well. Why would you risk that and making a remake when you could just make a remaster, lighten up the textures, give everyone roughly the same experience with Assassin's Creed, and they make them feel like they're playing the Ezio trilogy as it was back in 2009, 10, and 11. Ubisoft are only publishing this one. Had it been a remake, I believe Ubisoft would be the ones at the head of developing Assassin's Creed Ezio Trilogy Remaster. They wouldn't be getting a smaller company like Virtuous to do it for them, because they'd want to handle that themselves, because they're the ones with that sort of stuff. But I personally think that we've got pretty good. Assassin's Creed 2 has some pretty good shots. Some of it doesn't look like it's changed very much. Some of it looks like it's changed more than other bits. And overall, I think that we've got a pretty solid remaster coming our way. It's nothing overly special. It doesn't have to be, because the entire point wasn't the fact that they were trying to improve graphics. The entire point was they wanted to add something on the side to porting it over to current generation for people who don't have the older generation to be able to play Assassin's Creed in its prime. And that's the point of the remaster, because if they wanted to remake the Ezio trilogy, they would have spent a lot longer doing it, and we wouldn't be receiving it on a gap year between two major Assassin's Creed games. If they were to remaster the Ezio trilogy on a remake level, which is a remake, not a remaster, fuck me and my incorrectness, they would have used that as their Assassin's Creed game for probably about 4 years or so, like they're doing now. Like they're not having it out every year, so you know what I mean. Still, even though it didn't seem possible or even sensible to announce a proper all-out remake 2 months before the bloody thing comes out, supposedly, people were still thinking, oh my god, I hope it has the Unity and Syndicate engine, which will be changing the base engine, which will make it an all-out remake, because they'd have to restructure everything from the ground up, which, you know, is a very naive way to look at it. Like, they're not going to be doing that, okay? People expected too much, and we shouldn't be angry about it, to be honest with you. A lot of us seem to be quite angry about how it might look. We shouldn't be. We might have expected more, okay? We might have expected more. And they could have delivered a little bit more than they have. I get that. But the point is, it wasn't intended to be the remaster that was so sort of... It was not the remaster that was the point of it. The point of it was to bring the Ezio trilogy onto current generation. That's how I see it. With some updated graphics to make it feel less dated and more playable to players who are more aesthetically pleased, even though I don't understand why they wouldn't be pleased by it, but that was the point of it, okay? I would understand if they're Ubisoft and Virtuous Games have been hinting at it for like months, like saying, oh, we've got a remaster in the works for Assassin's Creed, trailer soon, which they would never do. But if they were hyping it up and then we saw the game, the trailer, etc., and it looked like this, then you might have a problem with it. But the fact is, they announced it 2 months before release, and this is what it looks like. It looks perfectly fine for that gap of time, okay? It's illogical to think that they were going to get anything more. They were leaving the gap that short for a reason, and that's so people didn't overhype it, or that people didn't feel as if they're wasting time hyping up something that they could flip on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 or PC and have the exact same experience right away. That's not the point. The point was that the newer consoles can now run the games, and people who only have those consoles can experience Assassin's Creed in its fullest. That's how I think it is anyway. But thanks for watching, guys. Comment what you think about this down below. Some people might be angry. I can understand that completely. You might have expected a little bit more. I expected a little bit more, to be honest with you, but nothing majorly major, and I'm not disappointed, to be fair. I might be a little bit disappointed about how some things look, but I'm not overly disappointed. In fact, I can't wait to see how the gameplay looks. That's where it's at for me. I want to see what the gameplay looks like before I make a full judgment. And overall, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming with this. Really, I'm not overly disappointed. There's just a tad in there, of course, because I might have expected a little bit better from, you know, I don't know, probably Brotherhood was the one that looked the least overhauled to me. That they could have done a little bit more with that, I understand, but I think that some people, by comparison to me, expected loads and loads and loads more, and those are the people who are complaining about it now. And if you look at some people, I've seen videos where people are really into it, like, wow, Assassin's Creed, oh man, a remaster, I didn't believe it, but now there's a thing, it's just wow. All these videos, there are people out there reacting to it, and they're absolutely baffled and amazed by this, right? And these are the people who don't take the stuff for granted. They don't overthink things, they don't overhype things, they're very level-headed, sort of like Tyler, who doesn't care. And they're the type of people who are going to enjoy this, and they're the ones that are hyped for it. And I think that they're setting a good example because they haven't killed themselves with hype, alright? They haven't gone over the top with hype. And that's what we need to do. We need to sort of chill out a little bit. What did you really expect? I could waffle on for hours about this, but I think I've made my point. Is that what did you expect? The point was to port it over to the consoles more than anything for newer players, and that's all I need to say, really. That's the point. People overhyped it. They thought, yeah, they're going to go all-out remaster. How that wouldn't even work, I don't think. I don't think an all-out remaster... Well, not remaster, an all-out remaster would work. An all-out remake wouldn't work. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe. We're approaching 5,000 now. We're less than 200 away. And I'll see you all in the next one with another video. So, yes.